What I didn't just mention in my second vlog, I wanted to share in my third, and that is a very personal story about motherhood again, and how important it is to me. I just explained in the last vlog my career, and early on in my career I literally wanted to have a strong career. I was hoping I'd meet a stay-at-home dad so I could continue with my career and not have my career impacted. I considered careers like being a barrister, a judge, forensic psychologist, the list goes on. But in the end, I've decided through my journey that actually I want to be the stay-at-home mum as much as possible, spend as much time with my children while they still want to spend time with me, and work as little as I can, and give the greatest back, contribute the most, working the least I can. And I'm hoping with my next business that that's exactly what I can do. Now, I just wanted to share a very personal story with you about motherhood, and this is how I decided to move on to motherhood as a new business, because my husband and I were talking about my passions and what it is right now, and the only way to really describe to you how passionate I am about motherhood is that a year before I actually met my husband, I was 36 years old. I had just gone through, what would that be now? I think at 33, pretty much every one of my closest girlfriends, so they're about 12, all around the world, just suddenly having babies, married or not, with partners for long or not, they just all suddenly had babies in a 2-year period. That very same year that they started, I went back to university to do my second master's. And partway through that master's, I just felt so empty. I was working and studying full-time both, and I was very empty. That's all I was doing with my life, and people were having children. And I so much wanted to have children, and yet I didn't even have a partner. So it was a long way off for me. And in August 2012, I got back from a long holiday overseas to South Africa, actually, where I had a wonderful time. And I had a conversation with my brother, and he had just had his daughter, his first daughter. Oh, sorry, no, his wife was pregnant with their first daughter, and we were talking about parenthood, and it just dawned on me that it was so out of reach for me at that point, at 36. And even my mum said to me, maybe you should start thinking about doing it on your own, because she knew how much I wanted to do it. And that was a possibility, but I really had always dreamed of having a family. And so it was very painful hearing that from my own mother. And there were a few conversations one particular weekend with various people that just set me off. And I literally went home. I was living on my own at the time. I shut all the blinds.
Here's your water, Mummy.
Thank you, darling.
I'm going to make my water.
Okay, that's a good idea. I shut all the blinds, I turned off the phone, I turned off the computer, I turned everything off, and I lay in bed for hours and hours in the dark, during the day, into the night. And I thought it was the end. I was ready to die. I wanted to die because I felt that there was nothing left for me. I had become as successful as I really could have been in my career, I thought, doing it on my own like I had in my business. And I'd reached the heights of my career, but the one thing that I'd always knew that I wanted to do was be a mum, and it had slipped away from me. And I really felt like life was not worth living. There was no purpose. If I couldn't be a mum, I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I was the closest I'd ever been to ending my life. And just thinking about that story, when I heard a couple of people's stories recently sharing about their families in this group, I realised that this is significant for me in terms of motherhood, is how much I really wanted to be a mum. And meant that through all the hardships and struggles of parenting, the exhaustion and the lack of training and the just exhaustion, and then trying to do the best you can with these tiny people who need 24/7 care and attention and love, while your life is just absolute turmoil, chaos, craziness, and you're trying to manage all this. I love it, despite all that, and it's because of this I reached so close to the end of my time, just so desperate to be a mum and thinking it had ended. So I have so much gratitude to my husband, who has given me two of the greatest gifts, the greatest gifts of my entire life. And I'm forever indebted to him for helping me to enter this incredible world, this new chapter of my life, which has now become my absolute biggest passion. There is nothing ever that could top this for me in life than the love I have for these two beautiful little girls. Thank you for listening.